throw nothing in the seat. Evidence.
Evidence of what?
Hey, it's a security breach, buddy, okay? I'm not having your seat thrown in my car.
Whoa.
Welcome to Rate the Audits, where we put misconduct on display, explore police and legal content, protect rights and demand accountability. This episode is brought to us by Coley Burks. Be sure to check the link below and subscribe to his channel and give him the credit he deserves. In this episode, Auditor Coley heads to a police station in Southampton to carry out a simple, lawful audit, but within moments it all explodes. A sergeant and two officers swarm him, running purely on emotion, not law, turning a calm interaction into one of the worst detentions yet. And just when you think it can't get any worse, another officer smashes Coley's camera for no reason whatsoever. Coley takes legal action to sue the force, but the outcome exposes just how broken the policing system has become.
Okay, why are you filming people's cars when they're coming out of there then? Because they're personal cars, aren't they?
Yeah, because they're in public.
Well, they're not in public at the moment.
Who are you?
I'm a police officer.
Alright.
You want to see my ID?
Yeah, I would really expect you to show it to me.
There you go. Detective Sergeant Jamie Wiseman.
DS, yeah.
Okay.
And any detective work to be getting on with, or?
Well, no, I'm due to be
more
going
worried
home now.
about. Alright, then go home then.
No, I'm more worried about you filming people's private cars. Police officers get a bit jumpy about that.
Why?
Why? Because people don't like us.
Okay,
Some
well
people have a vengeance against police officers, and you're filming our personal cars when we come out.
But I don't.
That makes me very jumpy.
Why? What are you jumpy about?
When my personal details going out on social media or something like that.
So you're just assuming that it's going to go on social media? Do you know any of this? Like, you're just assuming?
No, I'm asking you.
Because this is what I'm choosing to do with my time today.
Yeah, but why are you doing that? But you're saying you're not interested in people's private
No,
plate.
I'm not.
You're recording when they come out of there.
What can I do with someone's private plate? Only yourselves in the DVLA could pull that info.
I've got no idea.
Okay, well rest assured, I'm not interested.
It makes me feel very uncomfortable.
This sergeant walks out already rattled, and that's the problem. Instead of assessing what's actually happening, he's reacting to what might happen, letting paranoia drive his policing. He claims Coley's filming private number plates as if they're secret information, when in reality, every plate on the road is public by design. The moment the sergeant says, "I don't know, but it makes me feel uncomfortable," he exposes the whole mindset that ruins these interactions. It's policing by emotion, not evidence, and definitely not law. Coley didn't create that discomfort. The sergeant did, by confusing personal anxiety with professional duty.
Been filming other police stations at all?
Is it your business?
Yeah, it is. I'm asking you now, yeah. Because if you're going around filming all the police stations, that makes me feel very uneasy.
Right.
And
so what are you trying to do?
To investigate that.
Okay, what do you want to investigate?
Why you are filming Hampshire police stations. Is my conversation not clear? Are you not clear on what I'm saying?
This is a camera, mate. I've given you assurances that I'm not here for any trouble.
On edge? Have I explained that? Have you not registered that?
I don't even think you are on edge. There's three of you. I've got a camera. Like, you guys are armed. Like, why would you be on edge? Should I not be the one that's on edge?
It's when we're coming out in personal vehicles.
Yeah, but what can I possibly do with your personal vehicle?
You tell me.
Then you should maybe consider taking the bus to work or something. I don't really understand.
Why should myself and my colleagues, or our way of getting to work?
Because you're so concerned about security arrangements and whatnot. So if it's such a security risk...
I'll tell you why, because police officers get attacked on and off duty.
Right.
That's what makes me nervous.
Okay.
And they do that because people share our private information and track us down to where we live with our families. That makes me nervous.
This is where the excuses start getting laughable. When Coley tells the officer, "If you're that worried, take the bus," the officer actually says, "Why should me and my colleagues go out of our way to get to work?" That's ridiculous. He's the one claiming there's a security risk, not Coley. You can't park your personal car in public, wear a uniform of authority, and then complain about being seen. That's not a security threat, that's pure hypocrisy. Then the sergeant jumps in with another excuse, saying officers get attacked because people share their private information. That's not what's happening here, and they know it. Coley isn't sharing home addresses or personal details. He's simply filming from a lawful public space.
So has there been any cases of someone filming private plates and then going on to attack police officers? Well, if you don't have any idea, then you can't be making those assumptions. Like.
Well, I can.
Well, no, you just said I have no idea. Like, you're a detective, mate.
I work in this industry, in the security industry, and I know police officers have been followed home. I know police officers' vehicles have been targeted.
Okay, well, I'm telling you that I'm not interested in harming any police officer.
But I don't know that, do I?
All right, well then, what are we gonna? All right, how are we gonna proceed then?
Well, I'd like you to go if possible.
So is that gonna, like, what does that achieve? Like, I'm not gonna go.
Well, it makes me feel better. I don't understand why you want to put me on this edge.
You haven't given a good reason for doing it.
I don't need a reason though. What I'm doing is lawful.
Okay, I'm not saying it's not lawful.
Okay, so why would I need a reason?
It's just like my colleague is explaining it.
Do I have to account for my actions in a public place, doing something legal? You can find it strange. It's not illegal if it's strange. Like,
is there anything you need to report to us today?
No.
Is that the reason why you're here?
no,
No? Why are you here then?
to film
Why to film?
because this
you
is what I
achieved
want to do.
filming?
The sergeant isn't even pretending to hide that he's policing purely on emotion. When Coley calmly asks, "How can we proceed then?" the sergeant actually says, "I'd like you to go, if possible." And when Coley presses him, what will that achieve? His answer is jaw-dropping. "It will make me feel better." That's not law enforcement, that's feelings enforcement. What makes it even worse is how every sentence revolves around him. It makes me uncomfortable. It puts me on edge. It would make me feel better. Since when does a member of the public have to cater to an officer's personal comfort? It's completely backwards. The police are meant to serve the public, not the other way around.
It may make other members of the public that see you doing this, and obviously police officers and police staff coming out of here, be on edge. Why does he film me? Okay.
Because we're in public. You guys have got cameras everywhere. Like, you're filming.
And there's
like,
CCTV all the way around.
of
the
course
city,
there
isn't
is, exactly. So what? I don't know why we've got such
And
a
obviously today we've
front
got another one.
about
Do you not think
filming.
that the police station could be a security risk?
Is it not a secure building? Like,
That wasn't my question. Did you concede that people may want to target a police station?
no,
You don't concede
because it's not. I don't think it's a valuable target. I don't know what sort of people you're referring to. I don't think this is a valuable target for a terrorist. Has a police station ever been attacked
that. Yeah. up in
by a
London,
terrorist? Has they?
Yeah. London
Which
police
one?
stations have been attacked quite regularly.
I don't think they have.
Okay.
Name a few.
Well, name one then.
So, yeah.
So you can't name them, but you're saying that it's happening. Well, which one then?
I can tell you, but I won't say.
What?
I can tell you, but I won't.
You can tell me, but you won't.
Yeah.
All right, that's a bit odd. I don't know why.
You not giving a reason for being here.
When Coley challenges his security threat claim and asks if a police station has ever been attacked, the sergeant confidently says, "Yes, quite regularly." That's just false. There have been isolated incidents, mostly decades ago, or related to Northern Ireland's troubles, but nothing that remotely supports the word regularly. In fact, UK terror data shows attacks on police premises are extremely rare. Modern threats have targeted public spaces, transport hubs, and crowds, not random police stations. And then his colleague chimes in with, "I can tell you, but I won't," like a playground taunt instead of a professional response. That kind of smug, evasive attitude perfectly exposes the problem. They weren't engaging in honest conversation. They were just trying to win an argument.
This was like a genuine security risk, and this genuinely posed a threat. I wouldn't be irresponsible and come and do this. Believe me. And if this was behaviour that I knew that terrorists engaged in,
But it is.
I would
They
have.
film
it's-
targets. They
What,
definitely-
overtly
Well, they might
with
do.
this little crappy
How do
little
I know
gimbal.
you're not a terrorist? How do I know that? How do I know that?
You don't know that, but you have to go
Exactly
based
right.
on what you do know. There needs to be an objective
Yeah, so
basis.
What I do know is I've got a man who's not willing to give his details stood in front of me who's filming police stations.
Okay,
So that's what I do know. That's the facts.
okay.
Is it not?
So me filming does not implicate me as any sort of like prospective terrorist
No,
or
but it
otherwise.
raises my suspicion.
Well, you can be suspicious all you want. Like, it's not a crime. You suspecting me of doing something is not a crime. You need to have some sort of reasonable suspicion or objective basis to suspect me as a terrorist.
No, well, at the moment, I think you are filming a police station
Yeah.
with no reason to do that.
Mm-hmm.
You are refusing to give your details. I have no idea where that information's going, and I know you have filmed other Hampshire police stations.
This moment shows just how far the sergeant's logic has fallen apart. When Coley says if he'd known this was terrorist behaviour, he wouldn't have done it, the sergeant replies, "How do I know you're not a terrorist? That's absurd. Policing isn't based on guessing what someone might be." Coley's answer, "You have to go off what you do know. An objective basis," is exactly right. Officers need clear, factual grounds under Section 43 of the Terrorism Act, not fear or imagination. Yet the sergeant keeps digging, saying Coley is filming for no reason and refusing to give details, as if that alone justifies suspicion. But filming in public is legal, and withholding details isn't an offence. He's creating a problem that doesn't exist. It's pure feelings-based policing dressed up as counter-terrorism, and it completely exposes how poorly trained he is.
Do we have a power search? Section 44? 43, is it? I think we can do that. I think we be under.
Sure you want to do that? I don't think you got grounds for a section 43 search.
Well, I'm telling you, I think I do. Okay, so.
Yeah, well, it's not about thinking. This is objective. It's not an opinion, is it?
Look.
The legislation is black and white. It's not I think.
You can have this conversation with the solicitor afterwards, and they can come after me at a later date. That's absolutely fine. Okay, that's your right.
So you're going to abuse my rights now, yeah?
Okay, no, I'm not. I'm going to use our powers.
Okay.
So what I'm saying, I find your behaviour very suspicious.
Okay.
You are filming not just this police station in Hampshire, but other police stations in Hampshire. You can give me no.
Listen to what you're saying, Hampshire.
There's no legal reason why you are doing that, other than because you want to.
Yeah,
You are
I don't
refusing
need
your
a reason.
details, so we can't even verify who you are or what you are doing it for. Therefore,
I'm not obliged to
I
give
consider
details.
that to be quite a big terrorist risk. Okay, so you are now detained for this search.
This exchange is a perfect example of what happens when authority replaces understanding. When Coley challenges the sergeant by saying, "I don't think you have grounds," the sergeant replies, "I think I do." That tiny phrase exposes a massive failure. He's relying on personal belief, not legal basis. Section 43 isn't about what an officer feels might be suspicious. It demands articulable, objective reasons that any reasonable person could understand. Coley calling him out, saying it's not about thinking, it's black and white, is exactly right. The sergeant's words show he hasn't grasped that detaining someone under terrorism powers is one of the most serious actions a police officer can take. It requires precision, not hunches.
So these officers are going to search you now in order to see if there is anything that needs to raise that suspicion even further.
So what items? Who's conducting the search firstly?
These two are going to conduct the search.
Well, you've just launched with it. So what are these officers going to be searching for?
Anything related to terrorism.
Such as what? That's a bit abstract, isn't it? Any sort of specific items?
Not at the moment.
So you're searching for my ID?
Well, no, and anything relating to terrorism. So if all of a sudden we find ID and that says actually this bloke's okay, there's nothing to worry about.
I am okay. I've told you I'm okay.
Yeah, I know you've told me, but I don't know that. Or it might say he's on a terrorist watch list, and then we've got something to worry about, haven't we? So
you're not going to find my info though.
Okay, that's fine. But they're going to search you for that purpose.
This power doesn't. I don't have to provide my information in this power.
No, I'm not asking to provide anything.
But you just said you're hoping to find ID, this and that, like.
Yeah, if they find it, we'll look at it.
You know, you can be sued in a civil court.
That's absolutely fine. You can go down that route. I haven't got a problem with that.
You sure you want to do this?
Yeah.
All right.
Here is a great example of how not to use police powers. When Coley asks what they're searching for, the sergeant's answer, anything related to terrorism, tells you everything about his understanding of the law. That phrase means nothing in legal terms. Section 43 requires specific, reasonable suspicion of a person carrying articles connected to terrorism, not a vague fishing expedition for something suspicious. The moment an officer can't even define what they're looking for, the search becomes unlawful by default. And when Coley calmly reminds him that the power doesn't allow officers to demand ID, the sergeant just shrugs and says, "That's fine," when warned about being sued. He knows he's acting outside the law, but he's confident the badge will protect him.
So the outcome of the search was negative, so why am I still detained? If you've completed the search...
At the moment we're trying to identify who you are.
I know, but you've just detained me for the purposes of a search, not to find out my identity. So now, as I'm further detained, this is becoming more and more unlawful, because now you're detaining me to find out my name. Like, that wasn't the object of the search, was it? You've done the search, it's come back negative. I know, but you're the one that's launched with the power, so I feel like you're the one...
The officer said you was trying to find out your identity.
Yeah, but that wasn't the purpose of the search.
Okay,
Section 43 doesn't require me to give my details.
Is that what you're saying? Do you want to go?
Yes.
Go on then.
Can I get a copy of the search slip, please?
Yeah, 2 seconds. You ever been arrested before?
Don't worry, in due time, you'll find out everything you need to know.
Okay. I'll wait in due time and then I'll know who you are, won't I?
Oh, well, I can't go.
Is he recording cars as they're coming out of there?
Yeah, it is.
Let's take his phone off him and let's seize it. Evidence.
Evidence of what?
Hey? It's a
Evidence of
security
what?
breach, buddy, okay? I'm not having you thrown in my car.
Whoa.
The video ends on a shocking note. Just as Coley waits calmly for his search form, an off-duty officer storms over, shouting, "Security breach," before grabbing his camera and turning it off. Now Coley provides us with an update, explaining how the force is trying to stop him from pushing this case further.
Okay, so now I will talk you through said developments in chronological order as best I can. If you need to pause the video at any point to digest what's going on, then feel free to do so. Naturally, the first step was to file a complaint, which you will now see on the screen. The complaint explained in great detail the events that occurred outside Southampton police station and my dismay with the treatment that I had received. Following my complaint, I was quickly emailed by a sergeant prompting me to come to the station to collect my phone. You guys are already aware of that. Following this, the next step was to make a subject access request in order to gain access to the body-worn footage that was compiled on me at the time of the search. I was then contacted by a member of the Public Rights Access team telling me that my request would be processed. Shortly afterwards, I was met with a letter from the Access Rights team restricting my access under provisions of Section 45.4E of the Data Protection Act in order to protect the rights and freedoms of others. This didn't make much sense to me, as the footage was compiled in a public place where privacy is not an expectation. So naturally, I drafted a letter challenging the Access team's refusal to grant me permission to get hold of this footage. So eventually I got a reply on the 18th of November informing me that my letter had been passed on to the Public Access manager and that I was due a response on the 16th of December. Today is the 20th of December and we are still yet to receive any further correspondence from the Public Access team. It seems as though Hampshire Constabulary are making a concentrated effort to withhold any information from me to cover their tracks. This deceitfulness is not instilling any confidence from myself nor the public in Hampshire Constabulary. If anything, it is exposing their lack of transparency and openness in dealing with a blatant case of misconduct. So I'm simply following the letter of the law and using the tools and information given to me as via legislation.
The update makes this whole case even more infuriating. When Coley tried to do things the right way, filing a subject access request to obtain the officer's body-worn footage, Hampshire Constabulary responded by shutting the door. They cited Section 45.4E of the Data Protection Act to deny access, a clause meant for protecting ongoing investigations or sensitive data, not for hiding misconduct caught in public. The footage was taken in a public space, involving uniformed officers on duty. There's no legal or ethical reason to withhold it. It's clear the force isn't protecting sensitive material, they're protecting themselves. If Coley were to take this to court, it's an open goal. The detention itself, under shaky terrorism grounds and driven more by feelings than facts, would likely be ruled unlawful. Damages for false detention and breach of rights could reach anywhere between £2,000 and £6,000, possibly higher if the court found the withholding of evidence deliberate. The legal system doesn't look kindly on forces that both misuse powers and then try to hide it. Right now, there have been no further updates from Coley. That's because he's currently serving time for an offence. It has nothing to do with this case, yet it's a reminder that accountability and justice don't always move at the same pace. That's it for today's video. If you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to like, comment and subscribe. It really helps me continue with my independent coverage. Also, don't forget to check out Coley Burks. His channel is linked in the description. Show him some love. Thanks for watching. This was Rate the Audits, and I'll see you in the next one.